Duel number 2 has officially concluded from Daytona National Speedway, and we see some fantastic racing with a great finish and some big wrecks that happened throughout the event. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to your video. I just got done watching Duel number 2 from Daytona National Speedway. We got quite a bit to talk about from Duel number 2. Let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. So you had Michael McDowell lead the field from the outside with Austin Cindric on the inside, and Michael McDowell got a great start and was able to get in front of Austin Cindric and was able to clear for the race lead. He would dominate the early portion of the race, and on lap number 7, William Byron was able to get the race lead, and then about 5 or 6 laps later, Justin Haley, he was able to get the race lead, and a couple other drivers started leading back and forth. Then actually it was Riley Hurst who actually got the lead, and then on lap 21, Bubba Wallace was able to get the race lead, and he would dominate the next portion of this race. Then with 19 laps to go, you have Bubba Wallace, Christopher Bell, William Byron, Kyle Busch, Justin Haley, John Hunter Nemechek, and BJ McLeod come down pit road to top off on field while the rest of the field stayed out. Then the next lap, you have Michael McDowell, Denny Hamlin, Austin Cindric, Chase Briscoe, Josh Berry, Noah Gragson, Riley Hurst, and Zane Smith come down pit road, with unfortunately Zane Smith getting a speeding penalty. Then the next lap, you had Ryan Blaney, Brad Keselowski, Harrison Burton, David Reagan, and Kaz Grala would all come down pit road. Unfortunately, Kaz Grala at the time would end up losing the draft. And then the field would start coming back together. I believe at the time Michael McDowell and Denny Hamlin were first and second. And the field was starting to come back together. And then the biggest wreck of the night would take place with 13 laps to go, when William Byron would get bumped by Kyle Busch, who also got bumped by Brad Keselowski as well. Keselowski pushed into Kyle Busch, who bumped into William Byron after Ryan Blaney was trying to make a block. There was a bunch of wrecking that started happening. William Byron got sideways, and a massive pileup started taking place coming down the straightaway. Drivers like Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Noah Gragson, Chase Briscoe, Riley Hurst, Blaney, Wallace, Byron, Haley, McLeod, and multiple others, and like Gragson, were involved in the wreck, and also a couple other drivers, I believe, were caught up in the incident wreck as well. And because of that, they had to throw the red flag, and also Josh Berry unfortunately went to the garage because his car would not get refired. In my opinion, when you look at the wreck and the incident, I really don't put the blame on just one person. I think this is more of a racing deal. I think Keselowski could have backed off just a little bit, but he was technically backing off according to the in-car sound we heard. Kyle Busch, I don't think he really could do anything in that situation. He had nowhere to go. Byron tried to go up and make a little bit of an indecisive block. I think he made a little bit of mistake. And then I think that Blaney also made a little bit of an aggressive block as well. Ryan Blaney, justifiably, was not very happy. Same with Kyle Busch. I don't think these drivers need to be this aggressive. I get you're trying to go out and win, and I love it they were racing, but it is a qualifying race. You're trying to set your way and start your spot in the Daytona 500, and every single one of these drivers are now going to have to go to the back of the field because of this wreck, and it's just something that could have been avoided, unfortunately. To me, it's just a racing deal. I understand Ryan Blaney's frustration. He was very pissed after the race, and not just on the Fox broadcast, but MRN as well. He was not very happy. So after that, you basically had all the get refired with about 8 laps to go. You had Michael McDowell lead the field from the outside with Denny Hamlin on the inside, and Denny Hamlin got a fantastic restart and was able to lead for second, but Michael McDowell was then able to take it back. Then Denny Hamlin and Michael McDowell continued to battle for the lead side by side, and coming to 5 laps to go, Denny Hamlin went up to block Michael McDowell after McDowell got a fantastic run, but Denny Hamlin goes up to block. Austin Cindric has nowhere to go and drop kicks Michael McDowell, and Michael McDowell unfortunately drops all the way to the back. As they were coming to the final few laps, Denny Hamlin, he had the race lead and was able to clear. But coming to 2 laps to go, you had drivers like Harrison Burton and Austin Cindric that were starting to push their way up to the front. They get a fantastic run. And also at the same time, Christopher Bell, he gets a fantastic run and makes a run to the outside of Denny Hamlin and is able to pass for the race lead on the last lap of the race. And coming off the final corner, the Penske teams try to get there, but it doesn't end up happening. And coming off the final corner, Christopher Bell is able to make it and win Duel number 2 at Daytona National Speedway. Let's talk about the transfer. It basically be a race between BJ McLeod. Unfortunately, was involved in the big wreck. He was having a fantastic night tonight. Kaz Grala and, of course, David Reagan is already locked in. And it looked like that BJ was going to get into the main event and hold on. But unfortunately, after the damage, he dropped back quite a bit and was about 3 or 4 feet from getting into the race. Unfortunately, he gets beat by Kaz Grala at the end of the day, and Kaz Grala will race in the 2024 Daytona 500, and unfortunately, BJ McLeod will not race in this year's Daytona 500, meaning that BJ McLeod and JJ Yeley are going home this year. I feel terrible for BJ. He put up a great performance tonight. He had the best car of the open cars and generally had a top 5 car most of the evening. And BJ is someone who I've supported for many, many years. And I would have been really excited to see him make the show. And to see that he was this close to make it into the main event, it's really tough for him. I was really rooting for him. I was hoping he'd make it to the show. But man, he put up a hell of a fight. Was in the top 5 a lot of the evening. And unfortunately for him, he does not make the Daytona 500. And it really, really sucks. But at the same time, congratulations to Kaz Grall on making this year's Daytona 500. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the race results, and I'll give my thoughts and score on duel number 2. So Cristobal wins duel number 2. Austin Cindric finished the second. Very good run for him. Ran top 10 most of the evening. Denny Hamlin finished third. Ran quiet most of the night. Ran in the back, but basically saved a lot of gas and got up in third position and put himself in position to win the event. He finishes third. John Hunter Nemechek finishes fourth. Really good run for him. Harrison Burton finishes fifth. Made a little bit of a bad block, I think, on Austin Cindric near the end of the race. It cost him a shot at the win, but still a very respectful 5th place finish and a very important year for Harrison Burton. Zane Smith finished at 6th. Really good night for the Spire cars. Zane Smith finishing 6th. Also, Jose Park Course finished 4th in duel number 1. Great run for Zane in 6th. Brad Keselowski, after kind of causing a big wreck, he finishes in 7th. William Byron finishes 8th. Chase Briscoe finishes 9th. And Justin Haley finishes in 10th. Bubba Wallace finished 11th. I think Bubba had the best car of all the drivers in this duel. Unfortunately, lost a couple positions on pit road and got caught up in the big one. I really thought he was going to get up there and win this duel because he looked like he had the fastest car. Unfortunately, like I said, he got caught up in the big incident and finishes 11th. Kaz Grall, like I mentioned, makes the Daytona 500 and finishes in 12th. AJ Allmendinger finishes 13th, was up front early in this race, kind of faded back. BJ McLaughlin finishes 14th. David Reagan finishes 15th. Michael McDowell finishes 16th. He'll start on the front row of the Daytona 500. Josh Berry, after his issues with fuel pumping, he finishes 17th. Ryan Blaney, after getting involved in the big one, he finishes 18th. Kyle Busch, after crashing out, and he was pretty pissed too, by the way, he finishes 19th. Riley Herbst, who was putting up a really good performance tonight, he finishes 20th after getting involved in the big wreck. Noah Gragson is also doing really good tonight. He finished 21st and finishes last in the race. So now let's talk about the overall race as a whole. I'll give you my thoughts and score on this race. Honestly, this race was not as exciting as duel number 1, but I still thought it was a very, really solid and good race. Sure, it wasn't aggressive until the end, but I thought there was a lot of really solid pushes, and you saw a lot of strategy and a lot of good racing throughout the field in the pack. I've watched duels for a long time, and this is probably one of the more exciting duel races I've seen in many, many years. I think the NASCAR Super Speedway package has gotten a lot better, and I cannot wait for the Daytona 500, because the racing tonight I thought was very solid and good, and once again, another great finish to duel number 2. So my score for tonight's duel, like duel number 1, I'm going to give this score, I'm going to give the score a 9 out of 10. I thought it was really good. Not as good as duel number 1, but it wasn't that far off of duel number 1. I'll give my score 9 out of 10. So, that is going to be it for the post-race reaction of duel number 2. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and support on Patreon as well. Links description below that, and comment your thoughts below and your thoughts on today's race. What are your thoughts on duel number 2? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And congratulate Christopher Bell on winning duel number 2. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Tomorrow on the channel, we're going to have paint schemes for the Daytona 500. We're also going to have a NASCAR news video, and we're going to have the Truck Series reactions to the Daytona race. Saturday, depending on the weather, we will have the Daytona 500 starting lineup dropping, and we also will have the Xfinity Series race pending the weather. And in Sunday, of course, pending the Daytona 500 weather, we should have the Daytona 500 race review. Got a lot of great content dropping on the channel, and I cannot wait for you guys to check it out. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching tonight's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.